Hey, what's going on, guys? Welcome back to another tutorial in this Django and React tutorial series. So we left off by creating these models, recommendation models, link models, and theme models. And in this video, we are going to create views and URLs so we can access these models using an API. So for that, we'll install Django REST, pip install Django REST framework, and REST framework is going to help us create these endpoints. So in views, we'll go ahead and import the API view, and we're also going to import the models, recommendations, links, and themes. So in order to access these models, we have to create serializer so that the information or the data that is passed into these models are serialized properly. So we'll create serializers.py, and the REST framework gives us serializers and makes it easier for us to create these serializers. And we'll also need to import all the recommendations, links, and themes, and we're only going to serialize the recommendation serializer. And class meta model is recommendations, fields is everything. So just to verify, so this is the recommendation serializer, which reads from the recommendations model, which is this, and we're telling it to serialize all the fields inside recommendations, which is album art, name, and all the fields that are declared within this model. So once we have this serializer, we can go ahead and start with our recommendation view API, and it's going to inherit from API view, and we'll have a get method to retrieve all the recommendations, self request, and then we are going to say recommendations equals recommendations.objects.all. So we're retrieving all the recommendations that we have in our database using this command, and we have to serialize all these entries. So it's pretty simple. We can just do serializer equals, before that let's import our serializer, recommendation serializer, and then we can use this recommendation serializer and pass in our recommendations. We're going to say there are going to be multiple recommendations, so many equals true, and we'll do return response serializer.data, and status is the status code that we're going to be giving 200. Okay, so we need to import response and status so that we can use these in our views. So from REST framework, we'll import status, and from REST framework dot, I think it's response, yeah, import response. So one of our view has been created. Now let's create a urls.py to access this view. And in URLs, we can just go ahead and copy this, paste it here, and we don't need admin, or we don't need any of this for right now. And we also need to register the URLs that we created in main into our main project's URLs. So we'll say include, we'll give it API and include main.urls. So in all the API endpoint, it's going to include all the URLs that we mentioned inside main.urls. So over here, we can just say recommendations, and we can say, let's just import our view first. Recommendation view dot as view, and we can give it a name of recommendations. Okay, we do have our first endpoint ready. Let's run our server. Okay, it did open this. Okay, so we don't have anything at the root endpoint. Instead, it's recognizing two of the endpoints we have, that is admin and API. So let's just go to API, and it needs a forward slash as well. So inside API, it's getting recommendations. So what's really going on over here is it's reading from this file. So that's why we have admin and API. So when I go inside API, it says include all the URLs from main.urls. So it will go inside main.urls, and it's found recommendations over here, which is what we're seeing here. So if we go inside recommendations, it says api.html template does not exist. I mean, we don't need any templates, so is that it? No. Okay, let's see what the error is over here. Okay, we are getting this and returning the response. Get return response 200 API view. It looks good over here. And oh, okay, I think URL patterns. This is good too. I don't know what's wrong here. Recommendation view, is that the name? Yeah, it is. Let's just see if any of these tweaks is gonna help. Django template.loaders. Okay, let's just look it up. What's wrong with this? Huh. Template does not exist. This is supposed to be an API view, so it shouldn't really look for any templates. So let's just try it in Postman. I think it's not loading as generic HTML. So we'll try to get response in Postman. So this is going to be API recommendations, and this is a GET request. And there we go, it's working. I think the issue is with the REST framework not displaying properly. So we do have our ID, name, artist, album, release date, album art, and the themes. So it's just going to give us the ID of the themes, which is good for right now. And now let's create the post. Even though we don't need it, I mean, we do need it because we want our AI to call this post method and create an entry in the database. So we need to serialize whatever we're going to be posting. That is data, request.data, and we'll validate if serializer is valid. Then we save it and we'll return a response with that data and a status of 201 created. But if there's any error, we'll just say serializers.errors and we'll give a 400 bad request. Okay, let's just try to call the post method over here. Post, in the body we will delete, we'll delete this, everything. We don't need all of this. Okay, so we need a name. Okay, we need artist, we need album, release date, themes, album, art. Okay, we'll just say write again by Mac Miller, swimming 2024 0224. Themes, it's supposed to be a list, so we'll just give it 1 and 2. Album art, we can just copy and paste this. Okay, let's try to post it. PK value, received string of the themes. So let's just give it 1 and 2. Let's see how it works. Still not working. Let's give it a 1. Okay, it's working now, and it's only recognizing one of the themes. So it has created another entry with ID 2 and with all the details that we provided. Now if we go to get everything, it's going to give us 2 items in the list, which is 2009 and right. So I'll try to see what's wrong with with this, and if we can fix this. If not, we can definitely use Postman. And there we have it, our first API views that gets recommendations from the database, and we can create recommendations in the database. So in the next video, we are going to probably integrate AI. If not, we'll work further on adding views and then get on the AI model. So if you have any issues, let me know in the comment section below. If not, I'll see you guys on the next one.